She was a middle-class girl. She wasn't over her head.
Okay, today we are going to build a 4x4 grow closet. It's going to be sturdy, it's going to be insulated, and it's going to be movable. All for under $100, believe it or not. Or you can go out and buy a $400 one on the internet. You know, one of those plastic things where the zipper breaks and it tears a big hole and then you end up throwing it in the garbage. Your choice. Okay, this is the part where I tell you what tools you need. You need a saw. You need a knife. You need a screw gun. Or if you're old-fashioned, you can use one of these. Remember what these look like? Yes, screwdriver. You need a drill, same as a screw gun, except with this. You need a paint roller, or if you like to waste time, one of these. You need a square, something to keep things straight. And you need a tape measure. That's all you need. Alright, it's nice to have dreams of building a grow closet, but now you have to go out and get $100 from somebody so you can build it. So go and beg $100 from somebody, go to Home Depot and buy rigid foam panels. Buy 5 of these, 1/2 inch thick. That'll cost you about $55. Go to the lumber department. Buy 1 2x4, 8 foot long. That'll cost you about $3. Buy 4 2x3s, 8 foot long. That'll cost you about $6. 2x2s. Try to find some straight ones. Home Depot likes to put out all the crooked ones. You'll need 10 of those. That'll cost you about $13. 8 foot long. All those 3 lumber items are 8 foot long. Okay, go to the hardware department. Look for the drywall screws. You want coarse drywall screws. You'll need a small box of 1 1/4. You'll need a small box of 2 1/2. And you'll need a small box of 3 inch. That should cost you more than $7, but we're probably only going to use $7 worth of screws. So you'll have some left over. Washers. What I'm using today is a washer called a finishing washer. I'll show you that later. That should cost about $4. You can use regular washers or plastic washers or whatever you can find. You'll see later how they're going to work. Paint. You need some flat white paint and you need some black paint or a dark color paint. We're going to paint the inside flat white for reflection, and we're going to paint the outside black to keep the light out. So I have a total of $98 here. I'm still under $100. I got $2 to spare. So I haven't lied to you yet. Did you catch that? I spelled screws wrong. I need a C in there. Screws. Okay, so now comes the hard part. You actually have to get up off of the couch, stop watching Jerry Springer, and do some work. This is a full sheet of the rigid panel. It's 4 by 8, and that's how the 1/2 inch comes now. It's kind of purple now instead of the pink that it used to be. That is the plain panel. You have to strip that plastic off. I don't know if you can see there's a plastic coating. So you strip that coating off and then you paint the whole panel white. And you do that to all 5. And I've painted 5 of those panels, so they're all ready to go. You can see it's flat white. That's going to be the inside, and we'll paint the other side black or a dark color later. Okay, these are the washers that I'm using. Finishing washers, number 8. There's 100 in here. That's 3-inch screw, 3-inch drywall screw. Two and a half inch drywall screw. And 1 1/4 inch drywall screw. And this is the washer. It's got some grooves in the back. We're going to use the washers to attach the 1 1/4 screws to the wood. So the 1 1/4 screw will go through there. And that'll go through the foam into the wood. The 2.5 and the 3-inch screws we're going to use to put the frame together for the wood. Okay, this is a sample of foam that has been painted flat white. We use the flat white because it's the best reflective surface for the plants. This is a sample of the 1/2 inch. It has writing on the back. We're going to paint the clear side. What you want to do is peel off this plastic. There's plastic coating on each side. You want to peel this plastic coating off, and you want to paint the clear side flat white. Get it looking like that. That is going to be the inside of the closet. The side with the writing on is going to be the outside. We're going to paint that black later. Okay, before we proceed with the building, there's a few things that you need to consider before you figure out exactly how you're going to build the grow closet. The first thing is, where is it going to go? Is it going to go into a room with a 6-foot ceiling, a 7-foot ceiling, a basement that usually has a 7-foot ceiling, or is it going to be in the house where you have an 8 or 9-foot ceiling? Obviously, if you have a 9-foot ceiling, you can build it to the max. You can build it the full 8 feet. The panel is 8 foot, so you can build an 8-foot high closet if you want. If you have an 8-foot ceiling, you can even use the existing ceiling in the room as the roof of the closet. I'm going to build a full 8-foot one today. because this room that I'm going to put it in is 9 foot tall, so there's plenty of room for a 8 foot tall closet. Now if you're going to use a high powered light in there, you should also consider how you're going to vent the air. Are you going to have air coming in and going out? Is it going to be passive? Are you going to use fans? You can put vents at the top to let the air out, or you can have an active system with ductwork running through your lights. So you should think about all these things before you proceed figuring out how high you're going to make the closet. With a full 8 foot closet, there's plenty of room for the light at the top, ducting if you need it, fans. Also, if you have an 8 foot closet, you figure about a foot for the light at the top, and then if you have a powerful light, you're going to need a couple feet distance between the light and the plants, so you're already down to 5 foot. And if you have about a foot taken up by the pot of your plant, that gives you about 4 feet left for the plant to grow before you would have to start bending it and moving it out of the way of the light so it doesn't get burned. So with a full 8 foot one, you have plenty of room. The problem with some of these ones you get on the internet, they're only 6 or 7 foot tall, and once you get your potted plant in there and it starts to grow, it's just not tall enough to contain the plant. The plant will grow right into the light. So the more space you have, the better at the top. Okay, this is the framework of one side of the closet. It's going to be a total of 4 foot wide, so the panel fits right on there without having to cut it. You can see on either side there's a 2x3, and at the top closest to the camera is the top of the closet. So the furthest away is the bottom. The 2x2 on the top, you want to go across the 2x3s. So you're going to screw that 2x2 right on top of the 2x3s. The other cross pieces you see, the 2x2s, one is in the middle. You can measure up 4 feet and put that in the middle. And the one at the bottom, you should come up about 2 inches, because when you put your panel on, it's not going to be on the ground. It's going to be about 2 inches high, so you have space at the floor. Now I'm going to use 2.5 and 3 inch screws. I use 2.5 inch screws on the top 2x2, and I'm going to use 3 inch screws to attach the lower 2x2s. You're going to have to drill into the side of the 2x3 about 1 inch, countersink that, so that 3 inch screw will go through, because you've got a 2x3 which is 2.5 inches wide, and you want more than 1/2 inch of that 3 inch screw to go through. So you're going to have to countersink the holes on the lower 2x2s. You can also glue these together. They'll be much more rigid if you glue them. Now remember, if you're going to want to take it apart later, you don't want to glue it. It's going to be much harder to take apart. So only glue the parts that you're comfortable with, and if you think it's going to be a permanent place where you're just going to leave this thing for years, you might as well just glue it up, because it'll be a lot more stable. If you're going to take it apart, just use the screws. It'll be real easy to take apart and move around, move to another house, move to another room. And if you're going to use the glue, you can use a regular wood glue.